Good afternoon, abnormals, and welcome back to the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast. I'm your host, Abnormal, and today is Friday, April 21st of 2023. That cough did not go the way I expected it to. I was expecting a very, very smooth, very controlled cough, very I'm sorry, but then it kind of got mixed in with a hiccup. Anyway, welcome back to my show. It's Friday afternoon. I see we have Mao in the chat room. Hello, Mao. And hello, Pew. How have your weeks been? Tell me about your weeks. How are you? It's Friday afternoon. The week is ending, or so they say. And Sabrina. Wow, we got everybody. Well, that's mean of me to say we got everybody. But we've got a very sexy chat room. Anyway, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Anyway, I have a ton of work to do. So, I decided that I have to continue working this afternoon because if I don't continue working this afternoon, then I'm just gonna feel bad. When you know, like I go into the weekend and I didn't work. So yeah, so I'm just gonna continue this, and I was hoping that okay, we're not gonna do an art challenge, but I was hoping that the a nice chill afternoon might be appreciated. I don't know. I definitely need it. I definitely need a nice chill afternoon. I even considered taking the afternoon off, like just taking it off. But then I thought, that would be one of those breaks that would just make me more stressed later on, because then I'll feel like taking the break actually cost me way too much in terms of time. So I kind of just came to the conclusion, like, oh, no, let's just have a nice chill stream, and get this work done. This is an image that is actually very entertaining to me. This image that I'm working on right here. It's a very fun image. But anyway, okay, so Mao is unavailable to talk. So what about the rest of you? How are your weeks? How's everybody's week going? What's the news? Give me the news. Give me the news. I already said that, but that's what I want. I want the news. Yeah, we are here we discovered that we enjoy working with Harry Potter movies playing in the background. So we've been going through all of them, and it's actually been I mean, they're great for working. I don't know what movies. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay, wait. Frustrating, but it's more of the same. Other than work, we haven't really done anything this week. Well, do you get a break this weekend, Sabrina? Aha, there's the problem. I've been if I don't finish my stuff today, I'll have to work the weekend. Well, how is it looking? How is it How's it looking today? Are we gonna keep each other company? Nat Class, hello! Ah, I see the problem. This one is a little crooked. That's part of the issue. I think he's giving me an unfair amount of shit to do, and I don't know how to voice my concerns on that. How do you... Night Cow, hello! Well, okay, Oh, yeah, I saw Night Cow. Just as I was about to hit, you like, went into the chat room and said something about it. But hey, here you are. So, Sabrina, if you don't mind my asking, how do you calculate your time in the like at the end of the month to get paid? Do you turn in a timesheet or stuff like that? Why am I being an idiot? Why I could have just done this so easily. Oh, I'm being an idiot here. See, this is where the knowledge of perspective should join technology. Okay. Zombie that you're animating won't land right. Have to be great, but because of full time, expected to put in 8 hours of work then. Okay, no. The reason I'm asking is because when I was working full time, my boss would normally have me turn in a toggle timesheet. And don't get me wrong, the boss I had was not a good boss. Like this was not a good boss. But one of the things about the toggle timesheet that I do have to admit was actually quite good and all that is that the toggle timesheet would definitely make it so that the boss could get a good idea of how much time each one of my tasks was taking. Now, unfortunately, said boss didn't really use the toggle timesheet the way you should. Because the idea is that with the toggle timesheet, you can see that, like, oh, you're basically wasting 30% of my time with meetings and you know, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, they didn't really use it that way, but on more than one occasion, I did find that the toggle timesheet would kind of help with matters of, you know, letting my you know, kind of putting out there the idea that maybe I was wasting too much time in this or that. And at maybe one or two occasions, not with my boss, but with the producer, I put in the complaint like, hey, look, like this is taking too much time, or this is but I don't know if where you work they have like that different those different roles, like you know, like producer and stuff like that, because sometimes within the companies they don't. And so I don't know what the situation is there, because if you do have a producer working with you in the company, then I would say, like, talk to them. But I'm getting the impression that's not the case. Oh, I see the problem. Okay, Nightcap, the problem is that this isn't a hexagon, it's an octagon. There you go. It's an octagon. That explains it. The quick and dirty issue right now is that I get a day per key art, full illustration. But it used to be too. And his reasoning is that I can just paint it shittier. He wants speed over quality. Cool, great, no problem, until he has critique. Okay, question. Although I think I know the answer, but I just want to make sure that, you know, my next opinion is based on the actual situation. This is a 2D game, or is it a 3D game? Like, is this a 2D or... Doesn't that mean... Okay, because... The key art, like... For example, when I was making key art, I also got the complaint that I was taking too long. And one of the ways I got the boss to get off my back was because of how they were going to use the key art. And their plan with the key art was that they were going to use the key art to help sell the game to investors. So it became very, very simple to just go like, you know, hey, the better this is, like the better this looks, you know, the better the game's gonna sell. Like, you want people to buy, like you want people to see this game and want to put money into it, you're gonna need good key art. So, well, once kind of like I gave the boss like that sort of like, hey, like this needs to look good because you're trying to sell the game with this. He kind of like saw it from his own benefit in terms like point of view, right? Like he saw, okay, this is how it benefits me to let, you know, things take the time they need to take. Okay, this got all out of whack. I wish my boss had a mindset of quality in these because I don't really know how to paint these any shittier, to be honest. Saw the last post I did in Discord. They aren't high level realism or detailed backgrounds. Well, I guess maybe, but it's like I totally understand not wanting to go this path because I do think that maybe one of the... Oh my god, we're... Oh wow. Okay, I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Oh, you gotta paint like this guy? Oh, I hate that. I hate it when they go with paint like this guy, because then it's like, well, why don't you just hire that guy then? But okay, let's see. Yes. No, I don't want to go back to YouTube. I want to leave. No, no, I agree with you. I don't think you're... Ermax, hello! And happy birthday! Was your birthday last week? What, or this week? That these past few days was your birthday? How did that go? The 15th. That means last Saturday. That means since we last saw each other. Well, you see, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. One of the things that I got into a lot of arguments with my boss when I was working with concept art, it was the idea that while you can have a certain standard amount of time within reason, you can't it's not sustainable to expect all art to take a very, very standard amount of time. So basically you can most definitely make things so that they take a reasonable amount of time, but within that there has to be, space for, because art is very unpredictable that way. So a lot of times we as artists, we don't, and I know you know all this. So I mean, please don't think I'm condescending to you, like explaining to you how what you do works, right? Right, but like the idea that, okay, sometimes a painting will come out in an hour, and sometimes a painting will end up like taking way longer, and there's not really a very standard way of defining how long a painting is going to take within reason, right? Like one of the things I see in this art that you're showing me is that it's it's not very, don't get me wrong, it's spectacular, but it's very study based, if that makes any sense, right? Like you can clearly see that the artist in question is oh wow, okay, we were going in the same direction. That's awesome. Yeah, like it definitely looks like the artist is doing studies, which and I mean, yes, some beautiful studies, but studies nonetheless. And And at a certain point, it's like, okay, yeah, but there's not really a concept going on here. And then I have to make everything. Oh no, no, that increases time. That increases time. That is one of those things that increases time by a lot. Leaving layers for possible animation increases the time it takes to do. It is very annoying when clients ask for that because they don't really think that it's going to increase time a lot, and it does so much. It's it's actually one of those things that's like, you know, yeah, we gotta charge extra for that. I know you don't get to charge extra for, stuff because you're full time, but he says paint shittier, but then I get critique. There's a quote from him once. I'm only noticing these things because I'm also an artist. Oh no. Okay, at this point, it would meet there. And so we're gonna bring it. Okay, let's bring it down. Bring it down here. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Okay. You're disappointed today, Ermax, and it involves me. Well, now I'm intrigued. By all means, Ermax. How have I disappointed you? I got this brilliant idea of searching some of my old art, especially the ones that would teach me at the university. How and why the fuck did you let me pass? Remember, Edmax, that I didn't teach you class alone. The class that you received with me was a class that I gave with another teacher. So it wasn't 100% my decision whether you passed or not. Now that being said, also remember that you No, I was about to go there. I was about to go there. Also remember that you were not studying illustration. You were studying graphic design. If it were in terms of my personal evaluation of the artistic merit of my students, very, very, very few students would pass. But, you know, it's important to keep in mind that at the end of the day, these students are not studying illustration. They're studying graphic design. No, it happens. It happens to me quite a bit. Like you know, I sometimes get students that are like, oh, do you like the work I did? I'm like, yeah, sure, I like the work you did. Like, okay, this has happened to me a couple of times. You know, like, oh, and do you think I could work in what you do? No, I don't. I don't think you could work in what I do. There's a big difference. You know, there's a big difference from doing something good enough for a graphic designer and doing something that's good enough for actual working as an illustrator in fantasy art. It's it's a very demanding at a technical level job, and one of the reasons I was kind of growing a little bit dissatisfied when it came to concept art and video games was precisely the conversation that we're having today. Sebastian, this is a thing now, streaming over on the streaming on Twitch. YouTube has just become a better place for streaming, to be honest. That's pretty much it. So the thing is, one of the biggest problems that I would have with video game concept art was the idea of the amount of effort I would put into an image. And that's why when we were having this conversation a second ago with Sabrina, I asked her, this is a 2D game. Now, the reason I asked her that is because when I was working on a 3D game. And what I would find is that my boss would frequently ask me to work faster and, like Sabrina said, work shittier. Now, there's a difference here. And don't get me wrong, my boss was a douche. But if we're talking about levels of douchery, I think Sabrina's wins. And the reason is because the game I was working for was a 3D game. So, to a degree, my boss had a point. Right? My boss had a point. To a degree. The day I decided that I had to quit was the day that I delivered like 9 environmental paintings, like 9 pieces of environmental key art. And my boss said that I was taking too long, and that in taking too long, I was wasting company money because he paid me by the hour. So that's when I said, like, no, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I can't work here anymore. I can't work like this, right? But in spite of his douchery, right? Like in spite of, and unfortunately, I can't show you guys until 2025. So we still got another 2 years to go before I can show you guys. So hold tight. Hang on. Anyway, but my point is, in spite of his doucheness, he had a point in that this art is not the final art that shows up in the game, right? It's a 3D game. I suppose the exact 5 years from me working there would be August 2025. Right, because this was a 3D game. So there was a certain point in the idea that, like, oh, okay, you know, I'm not, you know, this isn't the final result in the game. This is not what the game is going to look like. The game is going to look like whatever the 3D artist does based on what I give them. So at least there we have that point, right? In Sabrina's case, I think it's a little bit worse because this is a 2D game. This is the look of the game. So what up with that, right? Like, this is how your game is going to look. This is the 2D artists doing their work, and you are willing to tell the 2D artist of your 2D game to work shittier. That makes no sense. I forgot the point I was trying to make. Wait. Where was I going with this? I was going somewhere. It was good. So we're like, okay, what are the things? Okay, and then blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. I remember. So anyway, when I left that industry, which, by the way, is an industry I would love to get back into, right? Like, I would love to go back into video games, but after even a couple of years that I was just basically in the position of I would never work in video games again, now my position is I would want to work in a 2D game, right? I would want to work in a game where my 2D art is what's going to be used and shown and stuff like that, right? That's I think what I want to work in. But the thing about role-playing game fantasy art is that with role-playing game fantasy art, they really want this art to look great. That, like, as good as it can look. That happens also with cover art, which I absolutely love doing. Doing cover art is one of the most awesome things. Oh, and by the way, exciting news. Next month, I'm going to do my first Game Master screen. And I've always dreamt of making a Game Master screen, and now I'm going to do a Game Master screen for Mongoose. I'm so excited. We're going to do this next month. I'm really excited about this. Yes, the Game Master screen. You know, like when you're playing your role-playing game at the table, and the Game Master or Dungeon Master or whatever you call him has this screen in front of them that doesn't let the players see what they're doing, right? So So yeah, that screen. I'm gonna be doing that one. Oh, I wonder what you heard, Michael. Anyway, like I love doing covers and stuff like that, but one of the things that has impacted me um, with being a cover artist. Give me a sec, please. One of the things that has impacted me the most uh, in doing cover art and stuff like that is um, when when a client, when you're working with an image and a client is going to use it as a cover, they get picky. They get picky, and I mean I don't blame them. It's the cover of the book that they're selling, but it becomes demanding. Like it becomes like you know that's where oh, you can talk about that here, Sabrina. That's not you don't have to worry about that. I mean, of course, if you're not comfortable talking about something here, by all means, but you can talk about that. That's no problem. Besides, you know, I think I'm up to date on the topic, but I wouldn't mind making sure if I'm up to date. You know, maybe there's a new development in the in that I didn't know about. So so anyway, the whole point that I was trying to make is that one of the things I've noticed when it comes to cover art and fantasy and sci-fi art for role playing games is that there's a lot of artists that could definitely have the skill, but maybe wouldn't be able to deal with the demands and stuff like that. Um, See, for example, I didn't know Dan's dad lived by himself. I didn't know that. You think you know a guy. Oh, but something I was gonna say before, and I'll say before I forget, Ermax. You think you're disappointed in your past self, but look at it this way, Ermax. Imagine how disappointed you would be if you looked at your work from like 10 years ago and you were at the same skill level. Can you imagine how disappointing that would be? Like that would be that is such a horrible thing to think about. Like to imagine looking at my work from 10 years ago and going, just as good. Just as good. I'm just as good as I was 10 years. Oh no. That would be It depends. In what situation would that be good? I can't think of a situation where that would be good. When I look at my work from 10 years ago, I want to be embarrassed. I want to see my work from 10 years ago and go like, "Oh my god." That's what I want. All your work was on your bedroom wall back in the day. Now it's not. I'm one of those artists that I can't. I don't. You will see none of my art in my home. The books I've published are all in a closet, and none of my art is in my home. I don't. I don't like having my art around. I just. I don't. I have two paintings up from college in the hallway. Husband says if I want to take them down, I have to replace them with something. Replace them with your fist. Well, okay, no, wait. There is one piece of art in my house. I'll show it to you right now. Okay, wait. I have to adjust NVIDIA so that it doesn't. Oh, okay. There you go. Trying to adjust angle. Oh, there we go. That's the one piece of art in my house. And as you can see, 1984. That's yeah, just as good. Funny thing is, I don't even have it out anywhere or anything like that. It's like it's in the cupboard with the other plates. Like it's not even like out in exhibition or stuff like that. Like no, it's in the cupboard with all the other plates, but I do not eat on it. Like it doesn't get used as a plate, but it is there with all the other plates. Honestly, like I think at this point that is more of the point of keeping it. Like at this point, it doesn't even have to do with. Okay, it has two reasons that I keep it. One is because it is the oldest art piece of my own that I have, right? I have no older art piece than that. There used to be a painting of mine from 1983 that my mother had, and she threw away and denies it. She just she just says that she never had it. But there's like, yeah, there was a painting of mine from 1983 that my mother threw away, and now she just denies that she ever had it to begin with. That was a framed painting from when I was 3 years old. And after that one, this is the oldest art piece that I have, right? So at this point, I keep it because it's the first. I mean, no, it's the oldest art piece of mine, and so I keep it for that reason, and also because like it's gonna be 40 years old next year, so like, yeah, I guess it's just, it has like that little bit of relevancy, and that's about it. Um, and in case anybody's wondering, my mother supports what I do, but she's not a fan of what I do. As in, she like she will throw me a like on Facebook, but my mother has no idea about anything that has to do with my work or role playing games, and it is absolutely not something that she's into. Like what I, you know, the kind of work that I do and stuff like that. It's just not her thing. Um, so hey, if anybody has a similar experience, um, if anybody has a similar experience, well, hey, I'm right there with you. I remember, I think I've even told you guys the story that like a couple of years ago, we were spending Christmas at my parents, and my brother gave her as a gift an illustration from some dude, and my mother was like making a huge fuss over how like that guy was her favorite illustrator, and I was just sitting there with Pew like, well, I wish I wasn't here. Okay, I've been constantly putting you at 10. Yeah, I don't know what kind of experience you guys have with your parents and what you do. Well, I just saw Ermax in that class. It's funny because it relates a little bit to. Okay, so I hadn't told you guys, but no, I did actually mention. Okay, no, I did mention it on Monday that I was invited to a panel, and so I went to that panel on Wednesday, and it was a very interesting experience. My only kind of gripe with the panel is that the guests on the panel were not. There was four of us, and we didn't really complement each other very well. One of the guests was a traditional painter that is clearly more focused on his food blog. No disrespect to the artist himself. Actually, really nice guy. But I got the impression that he's more focused on his food blog right now than on other things. That was just the impression that I got. By the way, I don't even know the guy. The other one was a social media comic artist, which I suppose people don't use the word webcomic anymore. People don't really use the word webcomic anymore. So, social media comic artist. The other guy was an actor that, according to what Pew told me, is actually a pretty famous actor from here, from Colombia, and I never heard of the guy because I don't follow anything like that. And by the way, Pew doesn't follow that either, but she just knew. Um, uh, and then there was me, and all the people that were invited to the panel were really nice, very interesting people, but the things we do and the skill sets we had didn't really complement each other. So when we got asked questions at the panel, it was normally very either we all gave answers that were just monstrously different, to the point that a lot of those answers were just not very useful, because depending on the point of view you were getting very different points of view, which is actually quite good and can complement each other in that kind of setting. But the problem here is that you're trying to build a conversation, and you've got four people with vastly different areas of expertise, right? And on my way, Nightcow. The other, the other problem is that it was very short. It was only like an hour, and I mean, you guys know me. I'm not exactly gifted at being concise when I speak. Nightcow, I don't see anything new in art. I see the last three things you uploaded. That zombie on the car thing. But okay. So you're saying that the perspective. Okay. What camera lens are you using there, Nightcow? 35 millimeter. Well, that could be part of it. Why don't you try a 50 millimeter? A 50 millimeter is going to give you a little bit more of a sensation that you're there. Well, no, okay, not there. Maybe that's not the correct choice of words. Maybe a 50 millimeter will give you a little bit more overall sensation of closeness. The other thing I would try is lower the camera. Lower the camera and also zoom in a little bit. You got this situation that's supposed to look intimidating, right? You got this situation that's supposed to look like, oh my god, this zombie just jumped out. But we're all like, we're super far away, and the 35 millimeter lens is also giving that. Like, we're getting too much of the scene, it's too open, and that's making your scene too flat. I would say either keep the 35 or switch to 50 millimeter, go in a little bit, lower the angle, and look up. And that should give you, because now you're going to have, and maybe add a little bit more rocks that might get in the foreground, like a little bit more rubble to get in the foreground. So we get that feeling of depth. So some things are actually in front of each other. And by the way, is it okay if I show this on stream? Because otherwise people are just guessing what I'm talking about, and that's not, that's no fun. So is it okay if I just, okay. So, oh, and also, like, yeah, what Sabrina says, you know, she knows what she's talking about. She is an animator. So, if you look at what you got here, you got a bunch of elements that are respecting each other too much. And the problem with that is that in composition design, things either tend to group or separate, right? Like they don't normally stay still by weight, right? So you got this zombie here, you got this car here, you got this piece of rubble here, and you got this here. Now look at this. Look at the horizontal line that we got here. That's super flat. Then we got this, which is just kind of pointing in that direction, and we got this. See that? It's like, in terms of composition, it's really, really, you know, we got these two lines here, we got these horizontal lines here, and that's it. That's all we got. Now, what happens? You need elements to be in front of each other and stuff like that, right? And if you look here, everything is respecting too much space. Now, if you bring the camera down, like, you know, pedestal down, then truck in, and maybe pan a little bit to the left. So you're going to get this element a little bit more in front. This element is going to extend into the background. This one isn't really doing much of anything. And maybe add some rubble here, right? To kind of give you a little bit more elements in the foreground. Now, the other thing I would do is, in addition to that animation that you got right there, which you do kind of have to give it a little bit more punch in terms of animation, but I'm not an animator there. Sabrina is, though. Is what if you did that camera movement I just said as part of the animation? So basically, pedestal down, truck in, pan left, as the zombie is jumping on the car. That way you're going to get that extra sensation of the zombie going up as the camera is going down. And then going to the left, you're going to get that little bit of a twist in the camera. And when the zombie lands on the car, you're going to be lower than the zombie, making the zombie feel way bigger than they actually are. Yeah. Mao, that was Mao. Okay, first of all, Mao Uh, you talk on your phone too much, Mal. We need an intervention here. Like, what happened to family time? You know, we're all here. Like, what happened to family time, Mal? You're addicted to meetings? Holy crap, that is the lamest addiction I've heard. I will admit though that I did enjoy sometimes where there were meetings when I was working in the as an employee at the company, because since I wasn't happy, um I I wasn't like during meetings I didn't have to draw, and because of the screen setup I could actually play like video games while I was in a meeting. And so I actually liked meetings, but because it just gave me like time to goof off and not work in a job that I was hating at that moment. So uh how was the week? Well, what can I tell you about the week? Um, what can I tell you about the week? Um, it was a week. Yes, indeed, it was a week. Um, I ordered a bunch of 3D glasses. This is a pack of 50. 3D anaglyph red and blue glasses. Um, I ordered them because. Oh yes. Next month I'm gonna be doing a game screen, which is the big screen that dungeon masters put on the table to not let players see what they're doing, and it's always like this huge illustration. And I'm gonna be doing one of those next month. Uh, so anyway, why did I order 50 3D glasses? Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Um, the virtual class that I teach at the university is like it's like pulling teeth. It is not a good teaching experience because the students are always uninterested. The students never pay attention. They don't go. They don't participate. They it's just I go online and I teach for a couple of hours, and it's basically I go online and for a couple of hours I just talk alone because none of the students participate or say anything or anything of the sort. And I'm sick of it. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's me. No, actually, Ermax, no, because you didn't see digital illustration. You just saw regular illustration, which was not that fun either. Mao was my best class. Your class was a class. I'm actually it's actually quite a bummer that I couldn't give you digital illustration. That would have been fun. That would have been a lot of fun. But anyway, so I started thinking, what if it's me, right? And I don't mean, by the way, because I don't want anybody in the chat room going like, no, oh, but you're awesome, you're the best teacher ever, we love you, and stuff like that. And it's like, no, great. I mean, yeah, yes, please say it, but it's not like that, right? Like, it's not like here, like I'm looking in the mirror going like, oh no, maybe I'm a horrible teacher and I'm ugly and oh my god, I'm bald. And like no, it's not that. It's just, I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's just something here that isn't connecting, right? Like I'm not discarding the possibility that these students are just not good. That's not something I discard, but maybe there's just something here that isn't quite connecting. Maybe there's something here that isn't quite, you know. So yes, I have talked about this with the other teachers, and their position is all the same. These students suck. They don't pay attention. But I don't want to leave it like that. I don't like, you know, I don't want to leave it like that. So my conclusion is, okay, maybe I just need a different approach, right? Maybe I just need a different approach. And I have 4 classes left in the semester. And I thought, okay, sure, maybe teaching them how to separate colors in Photoshop and handle their layers and finalize an image for exporting the file. I mean, that is essential information, right? Like that is essential information, but I wouldn't categorize it as fun, right? Like I wouldn't say like oh, come learn how to separate the colors in an image. It's fun. No, it's not. The results can be interesting because when you do color separation and halftone screens on an image, it can look pretty cool. But the process itself is not fun and interesting. So I thought, okay, I have 4 classes left in Photoshop. What if I teach them how to do 360-degree panoramic images, which is pretty cool because 360-degree panoramic images, you suddenly get an image that you're working on in Photoshop that you can move around in 360 degrees and paint on it. That's pretty cool. Okay, and what if I show them how to animate in Photoshop? By the way, Sabrina, heads up, I'm gonna show them your short again. So, sorry about that. I don't know if you're okay with me doing that, but every time I tell people that you can animate in Photoshop, that's my go-to. So, um, that's my go-to. um, so okay, I can show them how to animate in Photoshop. I can show them how to do 360-degree images in Photoshop. Which was the other one I had? I had another one. I had another one. It was animation, 360 degrees. It was 4 things. I'm missing one. Royalties. Mal, the word you're looking for is royalties. Oh shit, what was the word I'm looking wait, what was the 4th topic? Animation, 360 degrees. Okay, anyway. And one of the topics I thought I can teach and make it interesting is, hey, we can make 3D images in Photoshop, and the cool thing is that if you wear the glasses, you can actually see the 3D happen as you work on it. Right? Like you can wear in any screen. Like you just do the color separation in Photoshop, and if you have the glasses on, you will see the 3D as you are working. But then I thought, well, they don't have glasses, do they? So I ordered a pack of 50. And so yeah, I'm actually going to next week just give each one of them their pair of glasses. Like, hey, look, you need these glasses for next class. So here's some 3D glasses for you. And I'm hoping that this will make them more interested in the class, or at least a little bit intrigued by what's going to happen that class, right? Like, wait, we need 3D glasses for next class? Show them, look, I had this student. He sucked. Now he sucks less. This could be you. I had a 4th topic though. What was it? It was 360 degrees, 3D, animation, and I'm missing one. I'm missing one of those cool things, because that's the thing. Like, okay, this is like, hey, look, Photoshop is actually a fun, cool tool that you can do very interesting things on that you didn't know you could do. Right? And I'm missing one. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Yeah, unfortunately, they removed that because they have their own 3D programs now, so they want you to buy them. And it's a bummer because I wanted to try them out. Like, I mean, and hey, they bought Substance, but they're not part of the... Like, when you buy the complete Adobe package, it does not include their 3D stuff. I guess it's not complete, huh? And I will now proceed to not have any peace of mind until I remember what the 4th topic was. This is, oh man. Okay, what? Whatever. Did I write them down? I did not. He did not remember the topic. In the voice of Morgan Freeman. Because I did teach them how to make... Okay, before anybody gets disappointed at me, let me finish what I'm about to say, okay? I taught them how to use... Basically, I taught them how to make NFTs, but not NFTs, right? Not NFTs, as in, like, making NFTs to sell and be douches. No. I taught them how to make images in Photoshop with different layers and then use a code in Photoshop to have Photoshop make random combinations of those layers to then create like hundreds, if not thousands, or even millions of images based on the amount of layers that they have. So I basically told them, this is how NFTs are made, but please don't make NFTs. Just don't, you know. Don't make NFTs, but look, this is a cool little thing. NFTs are the future. Yeah. They are the future of 2022. Can I show that on screen sometime? Oh, I mean, it takes 5 minutes, Sabrina. I'll show it to you right now if you want. I don't know if you can pay attention right now, but I can show it to you right now. It takes like 5 minutes. Okay. Mao, you're on YouTube. You can actually subscribe on YouTube, but okay. Look, it's actually quite simple. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, wait, let me just get my folders ready. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to read that, Nika. Okay, wait, give me a second. I'm gonna... Okay, that would be... Okay, so here's the first thing. The first thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need something called Hashlips. Now, don't worry. This is code that you're gonna have to download from GitHub, or wherever you find it. I just wrote it in the chat room. Hashlips, and you're gonna get Photoshop Hashlips. Now, here's the thing. We're gonna do a very, very simple version of this, because when back when NFTs were like something that wasn't a joke, the thing about that was that wait, sorry, I'm going through folders here right now. Okay, so back when NFTs were not like a huge joke, found it. Okay. When you made NFTs, you could give them like rarity and stuff like that, right? Now, this thing that I just told you guys, Hashlips, you're gonna look for Hashlips Photoshop, right? And so it's called the Hashlips Art Engine. I'm gonna show you here in my folder. See, like, oh, okay, sorry. There it is. Hashlips Art Engine PS script. And you're going to look for this online, and you're going to find it, and you're going to download it. And it's going to give you a little folder with a JavaScript file. Now, like I said, this is the simple version of this because you can use a much more complex version that's going to allow you to make some things more rare, and some things are going to be like, okay, this is only going to show up twice, and this is going to be a lot more rare, and this is going to be less rare. But we're not actually making NFTs because we are not a bunch of assholes. So all we want is something interesting that we can experiment with Photoshop on. Now, here's the thing. A lot of us don't know that you can actually use code in Photoshop. And so you're going to download this, and it's going to download a folder. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to get like all these files. And here's you're going to get a file called, a script called generate. So what are you going to do? You're going to start a file, right? So for example, here I have this file. And look at what we got here. So for example, here I have a folder. I'm going to bring the layers here, right? Okay. And here I have a folder for the necks. Now what you want to do is each group of things you're going to have in a folder, and the order that they are matters. So for example, here are necks, and as you can see, 3 types of neck, right? Okay. Here I have the craniums, and as you can see, 3 types of cranium. Here I have ears, 3 types of ears, 3 types of jaw, 3 types of eyes, 3 types of mouths, 3 types of noses. Now we have them all there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this code to tell Photoshop to grab each of these folders and combine randomly all these folders, right? Like one from each of the folders. So that's why you have to separate them in folders, because each time it's going to grab one from each folder. Now, the cool thing about this is that if you think about how many of these I can do, the number gets out of hand pretty quickly. Think about this. For example, I have 3 of each, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what that means is that we have 3 to the power of 7. So we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which means that we can make, I'm going to do that, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's 81, and then another 3. We have 2,187 possible combinations of this. And check this out. If I was just to go to the background and say, okay, what if I have another 2 backgrounds? One with a red background, and another, well, since this isn't all colored, it's not going to work. But if I added like another 2 backgrounds to this, suddenly now I have like 6,000 combinations, because then you multiply that by 3. Anyway, let's not worry about that. As long as you get the concept of separating everything in layers and having each one there, and you just kind of, you know, the order, all that kind of stuff. Like that's like the artistic part. Then comes the easy part. You just come to File, go down to Scripts, right? And there you go to Browse, right? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell it, wait, let me just find this on the other screen, so I don't show stuff I'm not supposed to show. Does naming the layers matter, or just the order? No, naming it doesn't matter, just the order. So here we are in the folder where the script was decompressed, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to open it all into the build folder. So if you look in there, that's where it's going to put the images, right? So all I got to do is, and I'll repeat that because, okay. So File, Scripts, Browse, and you open where your script is, right? You open where your script is. So I'm gonna go there. And all you do is double click generate. So now what it's going to do, it's going to tell you You're about to use the Hashlips art generator. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I am sure. It's going to ask you, how many images do you want to make? Now, we can do as many as we like. I'm not going to tell it to do 2,000 and something, but that's why it's very easy to know how many variations you have. Like, you just multiply the number of images in each folder, and that's going to give you the amount of combinations, of possible combinations that you have. But for this example, let's just do 50, right? 50 combinations. Okay. What is the name of your collection? The name of my collection is blah. What is the description of your collection? That would be, Mal, get off the phone. You go, okay. 50 images will be generated. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the art being generated. Now, remember, this is either going to take a while or no time at all, depending on this is either going to take a while or no time at all, depending on the size, right? So I don't even remember what size I put in here, but basically, most of these NFTs that you would find like at very low resolutions. So look at this. I'm just going to tell it, okay. And it begins. And you can see them popping up in the folder right there. That's it. The end. And it's making... And as you can see, it's making different combinations. Yep, it was that easy. So when NFTs were still like a thing, and people were coming up with like, oh, here's my collection of 8,000 NFTs, and we were all like, when do you get time for that? There you go. There you go. And each one of them, you can see here on the right. See? 50. There we go. I don't even know how long it took, but generation process is complete. There you go. That's how they were made. And look. Here's... See? I'll show you some of the experiments I did with this. Wait, which one is this? Oh, okay. Here's one in color. Here's one in color. Let's do this one. It's the same one. It's the same one I just did, but with color. Let's do it. Scripts. Browse. That's gonna be... let's do 50 again. Whatever. You don't even have to name them. No, it all depends on what I got in the layers, right? So, wait, let me show you. Here it is. Making the different images that I just asked it to make. See that? To this one, I added colors. I also added, like, something to the top of the head. Wait, let me see if I have any of the other experiments I did. Because I did different styles and stuff like that. Oh, okay. I'll show you another experiment I did right now. See, there you go. 50 of these things. How did I find this out to begin with? Well, last year, wait, was that last year or the year before? Maybe it was the year before. I don't remember. I was contacted by a company that asked me to make them an NFT collection. So, they asked me like, hey, can you make an NFT collection for us? And I said, certainly. I had no idea. But I said, yeah, sure, I could do that shit. So right before I had to go meet them, I looked it up and I found a tutorial on YouTube. And that was it. Oh, there you go, 50. Oh no, wait, 48. There you go, 50 of these guys. Here's other experiments I did for them. Check this one out. Wait. Here's the protoform experiment. This one was more in Ermax's. This one I know is more to Ermax's taste. I did another one that was like in the dark. I did one that was in the dark. Where was that one? Where's the one that was in the dark? Oh, okay. I did this one. This one was pretty cool. Check this one out. This one, I did them with a dark background, right? So I wanted to see if I could, like, do... So all I did was give it a dark background. I think I can even show you this one. Wait, where is it? I'd have to find it. Which one is this? Okay, wait. So the first thing I did was I watched a tutorial, and this was my first experiment. This was my first experiment. And I made, I just made different color eggs and changed the color of the eyes. If a folder only had one option, it would be included in every image. Yes. So one of the things I figured out with that is that, for example, I would give them a hat, right? So, for example, I made 3 different hats. But then I also wanted it to have versions without the hat. So what I would do is I would add empty layers. So it takes the empty layer as if it's one of the possibilities. So I would have like 3 hats and an empty layer. So it would do, you know, it would do versions with hats and versions without hats. And if I wanted to have a lot of versions for without a hat, I would just add more empty layers. So for example, I would have 3 empty layers and 3 layers with hats. So in that folder, half of the time it would have hats and half of the times it would not. Right? Wait, of these I just made 100. Then, wait, where's the one that I made several thousand of? Okay, of this guy that you guys saw, of this guy. That, you know, to show them I made 100. Then there's this one. Oh, nothing there. Wait. No, that's not it. Oh, okay. No, here was before I learned to do it in Photoshop. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of what I got there. And so yeah, you know, like I made one of these, like the one that I showed you guys with color, and that had like 8,000 different possibilities. No, it had. I think it because the thing is it increases so easily. Like you make, I don't know, 5 eyes, 5 noses, 5 mouths, 5 heads, 5 necks, 5 hats, and then you add 3 color backgrounds, and suddenly you got literally millions of different combinations. So I just did that, and I told it make 5,000, and I just left it for a couple of hours. And like, yeah, 2 or 3 hours later, I had like 5. It seriously was like, the complicated part was, how am I gonna take these 5,000 images to them? And that was it. It's like super simple. Why hadn't we heard of this until now? I think when NFTs were happening and all that, I think a lot of us kind of just got a little bit too focused on hating the and I know how this sounds, what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we should love NFTs or anything like that. But I think a lot of us maybe got a little bit too focused on hating NFTs, and a lot of us didn't realize that if you forget about the aspect of trying to scam people for money, there was something interesting in there in how these images are generated, right? Like how are these images being generated? I knew that it just couldn't be that. I knew that these people weren't sitting down to actually make 8,000 combinations of an image, because it was a scam, right? Like, these people were scamming people. You don't scam somebody with so much work, right? Like if you're gonna scam somebody with art, you're not gonna sit down and actually make 8,000 images, because what kind of scam is that? Right? But what kind of scam is that? So I think we all kind of lost sight of the idea that, okay, what the code or whatever it is that's being used to make these combinations is actually interesting. Like, there is something interesting to check out there, and that has interesting potential, and I don't have to scam people. As for the job with these people, they kind of, as the job advanced, I kind of started getting a bad vibe from them. I kind of started, like, I don't know, it's kind of started giving me some red flags and stuff like that, and eventually I just said, no, I'm out. And that was that. I got out, and that was the end. But yeah, like, the problem is that in all these things that we are so annoyed by, you don't see NFT artist jobs out there anymore. Do you think the fad is over? Not entirely. Not entirely. Because you would be surprised at how many people in the industry have no idea what's going on in the industry. And I'm going to give you an example. I don't remember. How long ago was the interview of the guy that didn't know what MMO meant? That was a couple of months back, right? A few months back. Huh? A month? Nah, more. Okay, anyway. So, a couple of months back or something, I got... Okay. Sorry. A lot of you might not know, but I am constantly looking for jobs. And I've been looking for jobs lately because I want to get back into the video game industry. But like I said before, on the 2D side, right? I don't want to work in 3D games. Back in 2020, when I was making a video game, it took me like 3 years to realize, like, man, but I really would have loved to make a video game, right? Like the work experience was not good, but, you know, enough time has passed that I can acknowledge that it was that particular experience, that it's not always going to be like that, and that I really, really would love to make a video game that looks like my art, right? Like, I really love that. I would really love to have a video game out there that is not only fun, but looks like my art, right? So I'm always on the lookout for jobs and remote jobs and stuff like that, and nothing has come up. But anyway, a couple of months ago, or something like that, I got... Hello, Mr. Moko. Night Cow, you can code a 2D game? Yeah, no, but I also need to like, I also need it to be a job so I can have a salary, right? Stuff like that. So anyway, a couple of months ago, I sent my portfolio to a place, and they replied, and they wanted to do a little interview with me. I'm not going to say who it was, by the way. So this interview was to make an NFT-based MMORPG. And just like it got asked in the chat room right now, I was also like, what? We're still doing that? But I said, hey, let's not, sure, let's go check it out, right? Let's check it out. Let's see what this is about. I'm not a fan of NFTs. I'm not into it, but this is a 2D game that wants my art. Let's not throw away the opportunity simply because they want to make it with NFTs. Let's see what this is. Worst case scenario, there's an NFT MMORPG out there with amazing art, right? Okay. So I go to the interview, which was virtual, of course. You know, we're talking about remote work. And so in the interview, so certain things come to light in the interview. One of the things that come to light is, so we're talking, they're asking me what I can do, you know, sharing information, all that kind of stuff. And so in the interview, I realized that this is a new company. And by new company, I don't mean that they've only made a couple of games and this is like, you know, the first big production that they're trying and stuff. No. This is a literally new company. Like, this guy used to be a salesman of, I'm not going to say what, because I don't want, you know, I don't want to throw anybody, you know, I don't want to be that guy. But this guy was a salesman of something that had nothing to do with video games. And him and his business partner basically said, let's do this. And so they did. But so they did was they had an artist. And that's it. So at that point, I'm like, oh, can I see the art that you have? And so they show me. And frankly, very amateur. So the guy tells me, yeah, we're looking to get... I mean, I didn't say that in the interview, by the way. I'm not an idiot. Like, I didn't say, like, oh, wow, that's amateur stuff you got right there. Like, no, of course not. But, I'm looking at it and thinking, oh, wow, that's amateur. And so they're like, yeah, that's why we want to hire somebody like you, a professional that's gonna, that's gonna elevate the art, what we got. Like, oh, okay. And so, yeah, and we're planning to get a programmer, and we're planning to get this and that. Oh, okay. So, comes the moment of the interview where they tell me, do you have any questions? And at this point, I've pretty much got like a general grasp of the situation. So I go, yeah, I do have a question. And I go, but my two options were why an NFT, but I didn't go with that one. I asked, why an MMO? And the guy looks at me and goes, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, why are you guys, why are you making an MMO? He's like, I don't understand the question. What do you mean? So I tell him, you're a new company. This is your first game. Why would you go with what is arguably the most complicated, difficult, and large-scale type of video game that you could possibly make? And so he looks at me, and I can see in his eyes that he has no idea what I'm talking about. And so he's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean that MMOs are complicated? How are they more complicated than any other game? And so I proceed to explain to him, like, hey, okay, look, MMOs have this and this and this requirement. There are projects that are this and this and this big. That, during the whole conversation, when I mentioned how long it could take to make an MMO, I realized that he thought it was going to take him a year or two. I'm like, and I tell him, I'm sorry, like, if you tell me that we're going to make an MMO and we have 5 years, I would think that we are on a tight schedule. Like, there's no way you're going to do this in 2 years. Like, there's no way a new company that has never made a video game is going to make an MMO that works in 2 years. Like, if you told me we had 5, I'd think we were on a tight schedule. And he was like, what? I'm like, plus you're going to need a humongous staff. Like, right now it would be 3 people. You're not, like, 10 people, 20 people, 50 people would not be enough to make an MMO. Then I realized that he had no idea that an MMO has to be maintained. Yeah, the servers and stuff. He had no idea. Like, an MMO has to be updated. People have to continue working on it. You have to have servers. You have to, like, all these things. He had no idea. He had no idea. My perception, I mean, I can't say for sure because I can't say for, I mean, what do I know what a person is thinking, right? But my read of the situation is they thought it was going to be easy money. Because combined, like, I didn't even need to ask about the NFTs at that point. Like, why an MMO? This guy didn't even know what an MMO is. I even, like, in the so-called interview, I even gave him a little bit of MMO history. Like, I told him about Ultima Online. The guy didn't even know when World of Warcraft was from. He knew that it existed. He didn't know when it was from. I told them about how some companies would make a video game and expect that video game to finance their MMO, and I told them the case of Kingdom of Amalur, which again he didn't know about. So after this whole thing, I didn't really need to ask about the NFTs because the way I saw it, it's like, yeah, you just saw MMO and NFT and you thought this was going to be easy money. Like, you thought it was going to be like, yeah, we're going to make a fortune here. We're just going to... People like... And, oh, no, and I forgot this little detail. Throughout the interview, he told me, yeah, I don't play video games, so I don't really know much about them. Well, he just thought he was going to make a quick buck. He just thought he was going to make an easy buck. Now, in the guy's defense, at the end of the interview, he told me, man, you've given me a lot to think about. So, in the guy's okay, this isn't a defense, but I'm a big fan of the mentality of stupid is more common than evil. Right? Genuinely evil people, I think, are very rare. Stupid is very common. And stupid and evil look very similar a lot of times. I don't think this guy was trying to scam people, as in, let's scam people. No. I think he just... Yeah. Stupid, ignorant, whatever you want to call it. I don't think he wanted genuinely to scam people. I just think he thought that this was a golden business opportunity that he was gonna, he thought, video games, those are simple. NFTs, put those together, voila, abracadabra, money. I don't think he was planning anything evil. I just think he didn't know. So in his defense, at the end of the interview, he told me, wow, I didn't know all these things. I'm going to talk to my business partner tomorrow, and I'll get back to you. And a week later, he wrote to me and said, hey, I spoke to my business partner, and we decided that we're going to go ahead with the project, and we would like you to work with us. And at that point, I just didn't reply. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, that's hey, I want to work with video games. I want to have a video game with my art on it, but this isn't the way. I'd rather, this one is not gonna be it. So no, I never replied back. But yeah, he actually did write to me and said, hey, we're gonna move forward with the project. And we would love to work with you. But no. That wasn't. I really don't think that would have. Yeah. So anyway, that whole story time, all that story time, I do see NFT games still. Like I told you guys, I'm looking for work. I want a video game out there with my art on it. And I'm looking for work. So I'm always looking at, job postings and stuff like that. And the conditions that I have to fulfill for me to be able to do one of those jobs make it extremely rare to find any opportunities, right? It has to be a 2D game, it has to be indie, and it has to be remote. And those are conditions that, Like, yeah, that's not a lot. Uh, by the way, Ermax, the makers of Blasphemous, and I know you played Blasphemous, and if you haven't played Blasphemous, holy crap, Ermax, play Blasphemous. It's like a game made for Ermax. The creators of Blasphemous, if I'm not mistaken, are on the same island you are. And guess who's looking for a 2D artist? So I don't know what your situation is there, but makers of Blasphemous looking for a 2D artist. I saw that yesterday. No, they're in Islas Canarias. I swear, dude, I'm gonna send you the link. They're in Islas Canarias. That I read the job application. The reason I didn't apply is because they said you have to be there. Yes. I'm not lying to you, dude. Wait, I'll send you the link. Okay, wait. Where was that? Where? Damn it. Okay, wait. Where was that? Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna find you that link. Yeah, but they want it on site. They want it on site. That's why I've had to sorry, I'm trying to find the. Okay, wait. What's the name of the company? That company was. Okay, wait. The Game Kitchen. Yes. Oh, okay. So I don't have to find it for you. Great. Yeah, the Game Kitchen. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh wow, it has to be on site." Do I want to go be Edmax's neighbor? Yes. They're looking for an art director. No harm in trying, dude. I mean, you're already there. I mean, honestly, I thought about trying out. I thought about sending my portfolio, but I'm not available to move that way. You know, I'm not but I thought about it. I mean, I love the art in that game. It's a 2D game. Like, it fulfills all my requirements. Fan art of Blasphemous? Not bad. The new one comes out... shit, when does it come out? Because that would be like the most pertinent time to do fan art. Around, closer to launch. Oh, dude, that would be insane. That would be insane. Okay, but if you get that job, Edomux, you gotta throw some my way. You gotta throw some in this direction. You go get that job and then you throw some in my direction. I can see it now. You're working there, and you're like, okay. But the person that told me about this job told me that that I have to give him work. Are you guys okay with that condition? What? Yeah. Look. I'm sorry. That's just the way. That's. Look. Just ask him for, I don't know, just ask him for a portrait or something. I don't care. Just give him something. Just get him off my back. I checked the video. The joke is valid. I have no idea what. Joke's good. Okay, Nat class. See you next week. Have a nice meeting. What is that thing? This is gonna be the canopy. This is gonna be the canopy. Have I played any video games recently? No. No, I haven't. Oh, Edomox, that's awesome. Wish you the best of luck. Have I played any video games recently? No. No, it's a bummer. it's a bummer. I haven't. No. I fired up Cyberpunk because the latest Cyberpunk update, which enables path tracing, is very impressive. But I mean, seriously, I played it for like 10 minutes, and that was it. And when was it? I think yesterday that I had like maybe an hour or 20 minutes or something to play video games, and I was just so tired that I just kind of like I watched Harry Potter instead. Like I was just too exhausted. So, you know, I played Cyberpunk when it came out. Yes, I bought it on launch. I fell for that. I was really looking forward to that game. And honestly, when it came out, I had no problem with it. It worked fine for me. Um, it like yeah, like I played it and I had no problem with it. But I never finished it because while I was playing it, it became very like with everything that happened on the launch of Cyberpunk, it was very clear that the game was gonna get a lot of updates and that the game was gonna change a lot, right? That like that it wasn't gonna stay that way. So I kind of decided, you know what? I'm gonna stop playing it. I'm gonna stop playing it, um, because this game is gonna change a lot. So I'll just get back to it once it's once it's finished, or so to say. And I haven't had time. I've played through the beginning of that game like 6 times already. Um, then I see the teaser for the super realistic game called Unrecord. Yes, I did. I can kind of see the trick that they're doing with it. Not to discredit their trick, right? It's a very impressive trick. Um, but I can kind of see where the realism comes from. Um, if you look carefully at the video, and I don't want to be like the buzzkill here, but if you look at the video very carefully, you'll see that the game is benefiting way too much from the motion and the camera lens and stuff like that, which just goes to show, like, realism is just one movement and a blurry 50 millimeter lens away, like. But I thought it looked very interesting. I think it's a very exciting. Basically, I'm not interested in playing it because I'm not interested in games that are trying to go for realism. Your Call of Duties, your military shooters, your sniper elites, yeah, like those kind of games. I'm just not interested, right? I'm not interested in playing games that are dealing with reality, or so to speak. But I can't wait till other games apply that same trick, right? Like, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about other games using that same trick. right? So like when somebody makes a horror game with that, uh, oh, dude, the graphics in Final Fantasy VIII's first cutscene when I first saw them, I was like, well, this is the future. I remember watching the first cutscene for Final Fantasy VIII and thinking to myself, okay, Animux, have a great evening. Enjoy your dinner. I remember watching the first cutscene to Final Fantasy VIII and thinking to myself, this is it. This is as good as games are ever gonna look. Like, I mean, how can games ever look better than this? This is the future is now. Oh, dude. My pleasure, Edmux. You go have some fun. Yeah, I remember that and just going like, wow, this is it. This is the future. This is it is now. The future is now. Here we are. And yeah, I remember thinking to myself, there's no way games are ever gonna look better than this. Like, there's just no way. And I don't know if you've seen the Final Fantasy VIII intro cutscene lately. It's I love it because it still has all that Final Fantasy charm, but it rough. It be rough. It is some rough watching. The first one to give me those, wow, the graphics are amazing, was God of War 2, the original. God of War has always looked incredible. Like, every single time it comes out. Oh, yeah. Oblivion. Oh, man. Oblivion looks so rough now. But it was, like, I don't know what your guys' opinion is, but I have to admit I had much more fun with Oblivion than I did with Skyrim. And I do think Skyrim is objectively better, but I just enjoyed Oblivion more. Nowadays, it's like, why is everybody's face so round? Why? Why is everybody's face in Oblivion so round? But anyway. getting a little bit lost in my own image here. That happens when you do heavy perspective, but Crisis. This game is an abnormality. When it went out, it was the most beautiful game in the industry, and now it's still very pretty for 16 years. Still fun to play. I like all three Crisis games. Actually, my favorite Crisis game is the second one, which I know most people are not the most keen on. My favorite Crisis is actually Crisis 2. I think Crisis 2 is way, way better than people gave it credit for. And the Crisis games have that. Like, the Crisis game have that none of the Crisis games are new, but all three Crisis games still look great. Like, Crisis 3 is very impressive. And modded Crisis 1 can still bring a modern computer down. Like that's not even exaggerating. A modded version of Crisis 1 can still bring a computer down to its knees. And I like that. And that's one of the things I like about the new Cyberpunk update. I think that it's good that in the gaming industry, we worry about, like, okay, is this are the computers gonna be I think in gaming it's very important to worry about, okay, our computer is going to be able to handle this? Is this going to work? Stuff like that. But I think it's still very, very important that we have companies that are willing to just make a game in the spirit of, let's make a game that pushes it and that only like one or two computers in the world can actually handle. And I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. I think it's important that we still have that, right? Like we still we need that, right? Like those are the games that push it forward. So that's why I really, really like that new Cyberpunk update, because yeah, that's a thing that not all computers are going to be able to handle. That's a thing that a lot of people are not going to be able to experience. But there's actually a very, very interesting Digital Foundry video about it. And they talk about not just how impressive it is visually, but also about how this is very, very, very much a tech demo, right? This is new technology that NVIDIA is pushing. And it's basically, okay, let's see what we can do, and other video game companies will adopt it more. And so the thing is that up until now with ray tracing, we were having these issues where it was kind of complicated and stuff like that to implement. And path tracing is a lot more natural. It's a lot more, it just works better. And it is like I mean, I don't know, but it's what they say, that it is possible that with path tracing, a lot of video game companies are going to be much more willing to implement into their pipelines and into their productions. And I hope so. Because it is really, really quite something to see. And Like right now, if somebody asked me like, oh, what's all this ray tracing and path tracing stuff and all that, like that's the game I would show them. I've been told that Metro Exodus is also a game to show when it comes to demonstrating the possibilities and all that kind of stuff with ray tracing, but I don't have Metro, so maybe that's what it happens to be. I've always wanted to try the Metro series, but I don't have them. Because unfortunately, as much as I love it, the ray tracing implementation for Elden Ring was disappointing. Yeah, I mean, let's say it like it is. It was not impressive. Ray tracing for Elden Ring was not impressive. It's jealous you can play these games. My 9060 can barely play Counter-Strike. Well, look at it this way, 999. I don't have any time to play them. I have a 3060. I have a 3060 Ti. But what I do not have is time. So, I think that's kind of that's just kind of the way it goes. You push things to like you get these things, but when are they being played? I think I'm making whatever point it is. How much was the 3060? I heard they're way above MSRP. Oh, thank you, Sodina. I did hear that they raised the price on it recently because they're trying to push the 4070, so they made all the other ones more expensive so that the 4070 looks like it's a better deal. I got my 3060 in December, and it cost me 750, maybe. I mean, to today's, that would be converting to today's. Okay, $669 dollars. That's how much it costs. Nice. Uh, did you buy it in the States or in Colombia with tariff? No, no, I bought it here. You know, I don't think it's a very good idea to buy, like, to have that kind of stuff brought over, because if there's any kind of problem with it, then you're not going to have warranty. I have fortunately never had any problems with that with the stuff that I have brought from the US, but I do try to avoid, like, for example, my tablet. I bought my tablet here, you know, like this, you know, the Wacom. And it might have cost a little bit more, but, you know, at least I get well, I wouldn't get any more. It's not new anymore. But when it was new, I would have gotten a warranty if there was a problem with it. But yeah, I would assume that with, you know, the 40 series in full, you know, in full steam right now, you might be able to find some 30s at pretty decent prices. And mine, like, mine is a 3060 Ti. I don't play 4K. I play in 1440. And so far it's been, like, the only one that has kind of made my frame rate go below 30 is Cyberpunk with path tracing at full. And that's one that, like, I mean, Cyberpunk with path tracing at full is something that they're testing on 4090s and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not, like, I know what's going on there. like this isn't catching me by surprise. Like, I don't feel like it was supposed to be able to handle that. And even then, like, I put in frame generation and lowered the resolution to 1080, which still looks very good, and it's running it. When I played Cyberpunk on release, was it with the 3060? No, it was with a 1080. And it ran perfectly. Like, I put it, like, it was running perfectly at full everything. Yes, at 1080 resolution, But you know, they in Cyberpunk the maximum settings are called Psycho, and it was running perfectly with Psycho settings on my 1080. So yeah, like I know a lot of people did not have that same experience, but I did. Maybe I was just lucky. But the truth is that 1080 is just a really good card. Um, no, you see the thing that's the thing with PCs that like since PCs are so different amongst themselves, you can very easily when somebody says like, "Oh no, this was horrible on my PC," and it just a lot of people don't want to hear this, but uh and I you know and I don't mean to be mean to anybody, but any PC game is gonna be okay. I'm not saying that Cyberpunk was perfect on launch, but any PC game is gonna run poorly on a poorly built PC. Like that's it. Like it's just the way it is. Like you know if so a lot of people don't want to hear that because a lot of people just want to be able to blame the game. And I'm not defending the game, but I had no problems. I had no problems. Why are you so... There you go. Sorry, shaking out the pen. Yeah, and I don't know, when it comes to NVIDIA cards, I always try to go for the TI models. Every single TI model that I have had is just has given me um you know, you have to wait for their TI models, but their TI models are always worth the money. Why does this always happen? I don't understand why my Photoshop is discarding my keyboard shortcuts every now and then. But it does. Really weird. See, like I set up flip horizontal and it just discards it. But, okay. Here we go again. Just needed a little bit of pressure, and that's it. So what's everybody going to be doing this weekend? Going clay shooting. Oh, wow. You got some D&D? Oh, awesome. Wow. Probably watch a movie with Anna. Wait. Mao, I was going to recommend a movie to you. Oh, damn. What movie was I going to recommend to Mao? Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm trying to remember. Like this was like a really good movie. Man. What was it? I don't know. Since I forgot, there's a new Power Rangers movie on Netflix. Watch that. I'm actually going to watch it. I don't know if Pew's going to watch it with me or if I'm going to watch it alone. But Netflix has a new Power Rangers movie that is actually a reunion of the old original Power Rangers. And they're old. Like it's them actually reuniting. Are you gonna you got a super gift, a craft project, the Witchy Book Nook? Are you gonna record any video when you are working on the Book Nook? Of course, it's gonna look so cool. Okay, we are It's almost done. It's finished straw. I'm gonna work this weekend. I have work on this image that I want to finish for Monday. So yeah, I want to finish this image for Monday. And I have another I have something else that I can't tell you guys about because of NDAs. So sorry. Am I at least eating fun food tonight? No, I don't think we're eating fun food tonight. No. We're eating fun food tomorrow night. Yeah, we've been trying to eat we've been trying to eat a lot better. So no, no fun food tonight. Tomorrow. We'll eat fun food tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going out for burgers. We're going out to Grill Station. I don't know if you've ever tried Grill Station burgers, Mel, but they're good. What's fun food? Oh, fun food is burgers, pizza, wings, hot dogs, sushi. So are these things like these things are Mexican food, yeah. These things are pulpits. And fun food, typical American diet. You got it. Unhealthy? Not necessarily. A burger can be very healthy. A good burger can be very healthy. So yeah, these things are moving pulpits. They the idea is that these Vargir that are on the pulpits are actually evangelists. I don't really know of what religion, but they're Vargir evangelists, and they roam the countryside in these moving pulpits, playing music and spreading the word. Oh yeah, there's I had a pizza last weekend. A seafood pizza that, oh my god, I love that pizza. And yeah, it's like totally good for you. Oh no, this I can tell you everything about. $9.99. The stuff I can't tell you about, I can't even stream about it. You know, that would be, oh, that would get me in trouble. No, this is for Traveler RPG, which is a sci-fi role-playing game. And it's published by Mongoose Publishing. And this is an interior image for their book that is called Trailing Frontiers is the new book. Actually, the image I was doing last week, I can show it to you guys. I finished it. It is in progress. Mongoose Trailing Frontier. This is the image I was working on last week. It's done. So yeah, here you. So yeah, this one is done. So yeah. Ah, thank you. I modeled it myself. Yep, I modeled that myself. Oh, thank you. I had a lot of fun making this ship. Do I still drive a no-door Jeep? No, no. I sold that one. Well, I tried to sell it. It eventually got stolen. But I tried to sell it. Well, I got rid of it. And it ended up getting stolen. So, so yeah, that was the end of that. Right now, I ride a motorcycle. I became a motorcyclist. What the car? What? Is where you live bicycle blah, 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 bicycle able. Did I model the car in the last image too? Yeah, sure, I did. I'll show you in Blender. Where I live is bicycle able. Yes and no. They want it to be. They intend it to be. They most certainly want you to ride your bicycle everywhere. But the truth of the matter is that we live in a valley, and here's the ship in the background, the pinnace. Here's the ship. I also love the ship. See that? I really like how this ship ended up looking. And yeah. Yeah, so there's the ship, there's the car. We set up the camera, and here's the landscape. There you go. There's the image. That was what I exported. So we live in a mountainous valley that really is not bicycle friendly. They want it to be, and so they made all the roads tighter and smaller so they can make bicycle routes. And a lot of people do ride their bicycle, and I am in fact one of them. Here where I live, there's a law that makes it so that if you own a vehicle, there's one day of the week that you can't use your vehicle. They changed the day. It depends on your license plate, and they change the day. They rotate the days every semester. This semester, my day is Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, when I have to go to the university to teach my class, I go on a bicycle. But it's not a bicycle-friendly situation, right? Like a bicycle-friendly situation, uh, would have to be where, you know, I could ride my bicycle to work and that's the end of it, right? But because it's so mountainous and the terrain is so difficult, when you ride your bicycle to work, well, you just show up at work all sweaty and you have to change and stuff like that. Unless you're disgusting. Um, which I suppose some people might be. Mm. So, or, I mean, it's... Yes, it's also dangerous. That is true. So the only way it would be viable for a cyclist to just, you know, live in the city with just the bicycle is if you live very close to work. But you're not fat, can't be that sweaty. Well, thank you. But it's 11 to 12 kilometers from here to where I live with a height difference of about I think it's like 500 meters height difference. So on the way to the university, if I go calmly, yeah, I can pretty much get there, no problem, not sweaty, all that kind of stuff. But the ascent on the way back is not. Yeah, the ascent on the way back is definitely not a fun happy time. Like, yeah, I can't recommend the ascent. And yeah, it's not a bicycle friendly society. Actually, the city where we live, is considered to have some of the most aggressive traffic in the world. It's really really bad traffic, but more important than that, it's very aggressive. For example, one thing that happens to me a lot on my bicycle and on my motorcycle is that people here do not like it when you pass them. So every now and then you're gonna get a driver that if you pass them on the bicycle or anything like that, they will make it their mission to get back in front of you. And I've had plenty of scares with that. And right now, I only ride my bicycle to work a couple of times a month. But there was a time way back when I was riding my bicycle to work every day, and I've been hit by a car 4 times. And I can say at least one of them, beyond any reasonable doubt, was not my fault, because one of them was on the actual bicycle route or something. Yeah, that it was actually back then. Back when I was on ELR, that was when I was riding my bicycle to work every day, and that's when I got hit by cars 4 times. One of them was in the literal bicycle route, so like, you know, the little street for bicycles. So I can say with full confidence that I mean, none of them were my fault, but that one, nobody can doubt that one. You can press F to doubt the others, but not the one where I got hit on the bicycle route. Oh, sorry to read that, Mr. Moko. Hope everything is okay with the rig. Did the taxi driver yell at you in Spanish? Well, considering that we are in Colombia, yeah. um, yeah, of course. What else would they yell at me in? In telenovela Spanish. Moko, I was asking if your rig, your computer, was okay. Well, I hope you enjoy your burger, Mao. Okay, well, actually, it's 5. It's time to stop. Oh my god, my ears hurt. This is me as an elf. I don't know. I'm not very elf-like. Let me see. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. No, I think I'd make a better dwarf. Um. Anyway, or maybe I could be a human. Maybe. Anyway, that's that's gonna be me for today. I'm planning to finish this image during the weekend, or at least finish it on Monday, because I have yet another image that I have to work on before Friday, which is this other one. This image. I have to make this image for Friday. So I have to deliver. It's actually these 3 images. This one, and this one. I have to deliver them by Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna try to finish this image this weekend. And that's about it. So I will be back on Tuesday, probably, hopefully, working on this image. So yeah, I'll be working on this image on Tuesday, and I'll show you guys how this one ended up. But that's gonna be it for me for now. I hope you guys have a great, sexy weekend filled with great food and very, very sexy times, and maybe some entertainment, like either games or movies or books or role-playing games or whatever it is that you do to entertain yourself. But yep, that's gonna be it. Let's do the whole goodbye thing. You have been watching the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast, and I've been your host of Abnormal. Today has been April 21st of 2023. Thank you everybody so much for hanging out with me, keeping me company, watching, asking the questions, and just keeping it interesting. It was a very fun time. I actually needed this. I needed to relax a little bit, and this was a nice, relaxing afternoon for me. So this was great. I hope you all had a nice time too, and I hope you'll join me on Tuesday. Until then, good hunting, stay naughty, and goodbye. Let's go there, and just talking about burgers makes it a lot more interesting to eat healthy tonight, but we'll stay strong. But right now I'm gonna have a saltine. Hoo-hoo, spicy saltines. Sexy food.